Hi guys, is everyone okay? Welcome to the Super Preview pod that's being recorded a
on
couple
the day.
on the day. There was the world's biggest schedule clash ever, maybe,
I think that's fair.
and so now we're recording this a bit late, just a tad. So for those of you who are late to the games, or maybe have a long drive to the games, that's the perfect length, we've got you covered. And obviously we're going to preview some football scores and say what we think the scores are going to be. So
And get them wrong.
yeah, and get them wrong. I'm here with Matt, as usual. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Charlie.
Hiya.
Look at us. Who'd have thought?
We're just here smashing it in every which way.
We really are.
Which is just
I mean, enough of the chit chat. Shall we get into the football?
Let's get into the football.
Okay, so we'll continue in the similar fashion as we always do, which is starting with our beloved clubs. And last week we started with Bradford, so this week we'll start with Notts. We play Harrogate Town at home today. It's bad that it's today, isn't it? It's in 2 hours and like 42 minutes.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
Sorry,
yeah, we play Harrogate Town. I'm not optimistic, but then since about December time, I haven't really been optimistic. Harrogate are a strange one because they pull out some really good results, but then also they're Harrogate. And I know that's fine to say because their two fans probably don't listen to this podcast. To be fair, they've had a decent run of form. They've won 2 in their last 5. They're unbeaten in their 5. Notts, however, are not unbeaten in 5. Do come off the back of a draw, though. So, a draw against MK Dons, which was actually quite a good game. I've been reliably told. I don't get to go to the games. Annoyingly, I was actually in Nottingham when this played as well. I was like a 10-minute walk from the ground, but I couldn't go.
How come? What happened?
Devastated. I was at work in Nottingham. Devastated.
Deary me. You've got to
listen to it.
Set things up. Plastic.
Listen. Glory Hunter. That's me. Yeah, Harrogate aren't a bad side. They had a really good start to the season. It's kind of dropped off a little bit now. Who have they just come off because they've just come. Oh my word! They've just beaten Gillingham 5-1.
I was about to say this. I don't do enough research on Gillingham, so I thought I'd check in on them, and it's safe to assume that what I saw when I checked in them was an absolute massacre. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, sorry, Gillingham, but
were Gillingham 1-0 up as well?
Yeah, they were 1-0 up.
Yeah, they were
in like the second half, and then
they just collapsed.
But Harrogate are a really good side who can score a lot of goals against anyone, so it's okay. It's there's nothing wrong with it.
No, there isn't, and I worry that's going to happen again because our defence is pretty poor, which makes me think Harrogate are going to score a lot of goals again.
How many do you think they're going to score today?
Hopefully not many, but I can see them scoring 2 or 3, and that's pretty apocalyptic to say.
It's not that apocalyptic. You see, I've lived it, and you sort of get over it, quite easily. From my perspective, I think Harrogate are just good at taking their chances, and sort of organise at the back because they didn't, the way they play. In my opinion, it's not. They don't look like a team who's going to batter anyone like in the way they play, but they do. They battered us. They've battered a couple of people. They've they got a draw against Stockport earlier in the season. Stuff like that, which is pretty big. and then obviously beating Gillingham in the last however many minutes, and scoring 5. I feel like they're very efficient at what they do, and I think they're a good side. So, and against no offense, against a team that's sort of maybe a bit wasteful at the back of opportunity. Not wasteful, but you know what I mean.
How
Makes a
dare
few.
you say such a thing?
Well, we'll see. We'll see what the score is later on, mate.
Fair enough.
Sorry, that was.
Can't argue with that one, I suppose. Yeah, we have conceded 79 goals, which
I think
is the worst in the league.
You've conceded the most, but I think have you scored the most as well?
Yes, by 1.
So you've got the worst defense and the best attack.
Yes,
that is like vile.
That's a bad combination.
Really, really vile. Yeah. How did your Easter games go, by the way? Well, you had the MK Dons one.
Yeah, MK Dons one, not a bad one. To say we drew, it's 3-3. Drew 3-3 with MK Dons was a decent result. I can't be unhappy with that one. But then we lost 2-1 to Swindon before that.
Yeah, that's the only reason I asked. I just wanted to hear you say it.
Oh, because you're an arse.
Yeah. Just wanted to know.
Brilliant. Thank you. Right, let's move swiftly on. I'm going to say Notts. Yeah, I'll always back my team, apart from last week when I didn't. I'm going to say Notts win. I'm going to say Notts win 4-3.
I'm going to say 2-2.
2-2.
2-2. 2 goals for them and 2 goals for you.
What's that? Is that better known as anything? A 2-2? What?
2-2, maybe.
There you go. The ballet. There we go. We're back.
There you go. We're back. We're so back.
Right. Probably won't be the last of the Notts County talk, but we'll move on for now. You, Bradford City, play Gillingham today. Obviously, just come off the back of a 5-1 loss to Harrogate. What are you excited? Are you thinking, oh, this could be a good little runner? You've done well over Easter weekend. How are we feeling about it?
A 5-1 loss to Harrogate. We did not come off a 5-1 loss to Harrogate. Oh shit!
No, Gillingham did.
Oh my! This is highbrow.
Come on, Charlie, wake up.
I'm trying. Gillingham, they feel like a bogey team for us, even though we beat them away in the last 2 years. We beat them away twice, and we didn't lose to them at home last season, but they scored 2 in extra time to equalise. So I'm not looking forward to it because it kind of cost us from going up last season. It's one of those games towards the end of last season that sort of where we bottled it and ended up not going up because of it. I'm not excited to play Gillingham. It feels like they've come from a loss. We've come from a decent win and a weird draw against Tranmere and Grimsby, respectively. And it just feels like these lot are going to come back with a bit of effort and we're not going to turn up at all. And that's what I'm expecting from my club. That's just the way we are. I don't really think there's any other way to put it, is that I just think Gillingham are going to come in and want it more. That being said, I have heard that they have been. I did my research. They really struggle to score and take their chances. Apparently they struggle with creativity and goal scoring. So potentially, if we can keep them at bay and do our own work fine, then we'll be able to score and win the game. But I'm not sure. It just seems to me like they're going to lock in today and sort of just beat us. I can't think of any other way to say it. It'd be nice to win.
You think they're gonna rock up to the University of Bradford Stadium and, in essence, sit forward in their chair whilst they're on a game?
Yeah. Like genuinely, I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to sit forward and just score more goals than us, and we won't be happy about it. I'll tell you that now.
Fair enough. Gillingham have quite a lot to play for as well. We're going to start it off already. With a win and results going their way, they could end up in the playoffs by the end of today.
Yeah. So, they really do have to lock in. And I feel like, nobody likes to lose to Harrogate. No offense to Harrogate, but nobody likes to lose to them.
I don't think anyone likes to lose in general, to be fair.
Yeah, but in the manner that they lost as well.
Yeah, they've got a point to prove, haven't they?
Yeah, and I just think I feel like I say this every week, and maybe it's the sort of negative bias you have towards your own club, but it feels like the sort of thing we do now. I'm not saying we were phenomenal over Easter, but we had a convincing win, and then a weird performance against Grimsby, where we equalised with a last-minute penalty. But it wasn't like limbs; it was just like, what is going on here? If we play like we did at Tranmere, sure, we'll win about 6-0, but I don't think we will. If we play like we did at Grimsby, we'll lose about 6-0. So I'm going to meet in the middle. Do you know what? I've got a feeling it's going to be a game certainly not worth watching. So I'm going to lock in here as Gillingham will. I'm just going to say 0-0 or a 1-1. I'm going to say 0-0. I genuinely have a feeling it's going to be one of the more boring games of my life.
No, I think that's fair. I think because, like you've said, you had a really good performance against Tranmere, a really good result against Tranmere, against Rob Apter.
Against Rob Apter, who didn't do anything.
He heard us on the podcast and thought he'd give you a win. That must be it. That's the only explanation.
Thank you, Robert.
Cheers, Appy. Gillingham, however, obviously coming with a point to prove after losing 5-1. They have got a lot to play for in the fact they could quite easily still get into the playoffs. That being said, I have put 1-1.
1-1. Do you think it's just going to be one of those games where, I mean, to be fair, our team's been getting a lot of flack. We, as general, been getting a lot of flack from fans just from the poor performances and the poor results. I doubt it, but it could end up being a game where sort of both teams are scared to lose. Do you know what I mean? And
I suppose, but I think in that case,
but Gillingham will want to win, won't they? So
that's what I'm thinking. If that was the case, Gillingham would be more in that boat than you would be.
Yeah, that's
that might give you the advantage because Gillingham have a lot to play for, and I can say this from both our perspectives: we don't.
Yeah,
we're not going to go down. We're not going to go up. So if Bradford go out and put everybody forward, trying to get.
When did we get Grant McCann?
I have no idea, but we've both been Grant McCann. They're on a 5-game win streak, by the way, but we'll get to that.
Okay. Sorry, that came as a shock to me. I thought they would between us and you.
Nope.
All right, splendid.
Nope.
Oh, great. We love Doncaster.
Yeah, what were we saying? If that is the case, that it's like Gillingham don't want to, are scared of losing, I think that gives you the advantage in that sense. Because you don't have anything to play for and can go out and press and push men forward and commit players. And the repercussions, if you lose, it's like, shit, Graham Alexander obviously doesn't want you to lose. The fans don't want you to lose. But if you lose, realistically, it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I'm sure there's some of our fans that think we're still able to get playoffs, and we'll talk about a deluded fan base that are thinking such things later on. But no, I really don't think it's happening for us. And I just feel like I get the Gillingham wanting it more, but I just feel like they'll maybe just try to calm things down, from the last match. and struggle to sort of find the right level to calm down to. You know, that's what I think about that.
Fair enough. Should we move on?
We shall. We shall.
Well, since we've spoken about them quite a bit already, I feel like it's only fair if we go to the Doncaster game.
Yeah.
Because we made a joke maybe a month ago that Doncaster were going on a promotion push. There are 18 points left to play for. They are on a 5-game winning streak. And they're 7 points off the playoffs.
Well, I can't be. I'm gonna just say I cannot be bothered if they do all this season. Like, I like Doncaster, and you know, I like what's going on there. I like the fun that they're having this season. You know, I like the football they're playing now. I like the results they're getting now. What I do not like is them just deciding to be good out of nowhere after I've been slating Grant McCann. This has been like since this podcast started, we've been, sort of saying, Grant McCann, what are you doing? And now they're just like soaring up the table. You know,
He's zoned in. He sat forward in his chair, and Doncaster have gone on a mad one.
He has sat forward in his chair, and they've got a game in hand on like everyone except Walsall.
Yep.
Walsall and Crawley have played the same amount of matches. They could imagine if they actually went on and won the league. I don't think that's possible.
No, it's not possible.
That's a shame. That is a real shame. They can get second, I think.
No, surely not.
Well, how many games is there left to play?
6.
Yeah, 6. So they can get 18 points, which would take them to... if Mansfield and Wrexham don't win another match at all, then it's looking doable.
I mean, it takes them to 73 points, but they're not like you've got MK Dons, Barrow, Crew.
Nah.
I don't think mathematically it can be done. I haven't crunched the numbers, but off the dome, I don't think it's doable.
Well, it'd be one of those where you need Mansfield to like not win a game, but that'd mean that MK Dons do win one or something like that.
Yeah.
But they certainly can get top 7, which is a bit
really. See, they're only a point above Bradford.
So today we need to sort them out,
But Doncaster, I feel like actually Doncaster do have a genuine chance of getting playoffs. Bradford don't. Notts are 2 points, 3 points behind Doncaster, and Doncaster have a genuine chance of playoffs, and Notts don't. Grant McCann, I don't know what he's done.
Yeah, and I don't know what he's done because there's only a points difference. So, but it's just so much less likely in that points difference.
It's just the mentality, isn't it? They've got a winning team at the moment.
Where you can get a maximum of 15 more games.
What?
Which right now, 15 more points. Yeah,
a lot of games in hand. I know Valley Parade's pitch isn't great, but
yeah, I wish we had fucking more games on. And if we won every one of those games, as the table stands now, we'd only be 5th. So, whereas we're talking, Doncaster could theoretically get us, we can get 5th. That's our best possible chance, and that's without me crunching numbers. But it's not about us. It's not about us. Doncaster are playing Morecambe.
Yeah, I'm going to say we'll kind of look at Morecambe a little bit because Morecambe are doing well. They had a bit of a losing streak where they weren't. I think they had worse form in the league at one point where they lost like the last 4. Is that what we spoke about on Easter? Before Easter?
Yeah.
They'd lost their last 4 in a row. And as I said then, and I will say again, the only team who also was doing that was Bradford.
Well, we sorted it out.
You did.
Laptop's not closing today, mate.
I was going to say, I was waiting for a little snap.
No, I can see it in your eyes. You weren't like, hear my dog going mental. So apologies if everyone can hear that.
I can't.
Good.
But yeah, Morecambe have won the last 2, won the 2 over Easter, it seems. Beat Barrow and Accrington Stanley in the famous Accrington Stanley Morecambe derby, which game for the ages, that one. 2-1, 3 entire goals.
that's that's the sort of thing. You see the Chelsea United game. This is akin to that.
Oh,
In terms,
mate,
in
this is
terms of limbs, and then on top of it, there's the rivalry. You know, that's
these are the Accrington Morecambe derby is the sort of game you get into football for. It's the sort of thing you look at as a kid and you think, I want to get involved in that.
well, that's the
And
Green Street was originally going to be about a Morecambe fan.
mm,
So I think they changed it. I don't know. I don't really know why. I think it was a little bit too violent,
see,
perhaps.
that's what I've heard as well. It was a little bit too like highbrow sort of thing. So they had to scale it down and go for someone like West Ham.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted people to like tourists start going to
Yeah.
Medina. It'd be risky, lives would be lost. So it's good to know that I don't think there were any injuries this time around. But
No, Stewart did really well.
yeah, they beat
Um,
they beat Barrow,
they
which
did beat Barrow. That's
is
a very good result.
apparently.
Because I mean, Barrow are a good team,
Barrow
and
are a good
Morecambe beat 'em.
times.
But then Morecambe are a good team as well. They're only 2 points off the playoffs. So again, a lot to play for Morecambe today. Doncaster, I think, have the momentum behind them at the moment. Morecambe, however, do have the better league standing. They have the better points total. They've got better pretty much everything across the board, apart from form. I just, but it's bad because I can only see it going the way of Doncaster.
Yeah, it's the Grant McCann train's chugging along,
It is.
and it feels like sort of an inevitable thing. Like I can feel myself sat at home or wherever I am in pub, wherever,
In
watching
the
the play.
pub, you're not 18.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Um,
18 in 3 weeks, actually.
yeah, I'm actually 18 and a half. So yeah,
Sorry, carry on. You're
I
sat in
can
your local.
just see myself being wherever, watching Doncaster win the playoff final at Wembley. Like it's just something that I can so visualize happening in the summer. Like just me sat there, just shaking my head, apologizing through the telly.
Sorry, Grant. I'm so sorry.
So sorry, but
Because like a month ago, they were quite a bit below where we are.
they were. I'm sure
Month
there were
ago.
times when they were like they looked relegation bound. They were terrible. Like
Yeah, they were. At the start, they were like relegation fodder, like could have quite easily get.
at Christmas. Everyone were battering them around then, and now they're just. I don't know. It's the January transfer window. They got a couple of loans in, and no, it's true. It's true, which is nice for them. But they've got to make sure that if they, especially if they go up, which probably not going to happen. But if it does, they need to replace all this talent that they've loaned in with permanent talent for next season. Because I reckon they'll do really well if they have the exact same squad next season.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
so.
What? I don't think that's a hot. You're laughing like it's a weird take. I think that's valid. Like,
No, I don't think it's a weird take. I think it's just plainly obvious.
well, yeah, but,
If they keep all their really good players they've loaned in, they're going to do well again.
okay. My point is that they need these loan players to perform or equivalent substitutes. If they
Yeah.
don't have them, they might struggle again.
Yeah, no, I get you. It's a bit like it reminds me of Lincoln City a few years ago when they got to the playoff final. They had people like Brennan Johnson,
Yeah,
and they had another guy as well. I can't remember his name, but he was really good.
that Ronaldo guy.
What, Messi?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Messi.
Messi, Beckham,
All the Lincoln boys.
the Lincoln lads. The likes of like the likes of Brennan Johnson on loan, and they had somebody else on loan, but again I can't remember his name, but he was very good. And they got to the playoff final, and then I think they got like lower mid-table the season after because they had about 3 or 4 loans leave and just didn't replace them.
Yeah,
So Doncaster could be looking to be in a similar boat if they don't recruit well over the summer. That being said, that's not what we're looking at right now. So I mean, I'm going to go for a 3-1 Doncaster win.
3-1. You think it's going to be that convincing?
I do. I really do. Doncaster, I don't think anything's stopping them at the moment, apart from maybe like Mansfield.
I'm going to say 2-0 to Doncaster, of course.
You know when? You know David Mitchell from Peep Show.
Oh boy, I know David Mitchell from Peep Show.
Have you seen these skit when he's like a Sky Sports dude and he's walking around the football pitch and he's like, when the immovable object of Doncaster meets the force of Morecambe.
In one of the matches that will be played this weekend, or something like that, described as on this weekend.
Well, I feel like we should do something with that. We should work that our way into our little podcast here.
Why don't we change this into like a filmed show? You know, like Match of the Day. I don't know how we do it.
No idea. How can we do replays and highlights of a preview game?
No. Well, we could say like this is the goal that Doncaster are going to score, and then like, just like us like running around like just kicking a ball into an empty net or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll never talk about this off the podcast.
But yeah, Doncaster are winning. Have we got another fixture?
Yeah, we've got plenty. We can go pretty much top to bottom, and Sutton United take on Stockport. I know Sutton are on a really good run at the moment. They've won their last 4, so they're really putting up a fight to stay in the league. They've gotten to that of the relegation zone, only by point, mind. And then Colchester do have 3 games in hand. So with 3 draws, the Colchester are inevitably going to get, that will lift them out.
It will.
Grimsby are in real danger of getting dragged into it. They're only 2 points above the relegation zone now.
I know that's bizarre because it felt like, literally, I think in the last one we were saying, they've got a decent enough gap to sort of be comfortably safe now. I think we said, or more likely than not safe. But now it just looks like it's a little bit over, isn't it?
However much I thought Sutton were going to go down, it looks to me now that it's going to be Forest Green and Grimsby.
I hope not. I like Grimsby. I do like Grimsby. I like Dave Artell.
I like Dave Artell. I like Grimsby when they're not beating us in the last minute in the playoff semi-final. I'm still not over it.
Oh well. You're here now, and I bet you wish you never came. It's League 2 is rubbish.
It is.
Yeah,
Get me back to Ed's Fleet.
Sutton have won their last 4, like you said. Stockport have won their last 3. And obviously Stockport, Sutton are Sutton. There is one glaring favourite right now, but it also does seem like one of those games, don't you think?
I think it is. It's a banana skin, isn't it?
It's worth noting that Sutton versus Stockport at the start of the season, I believe, 8-0 Stockport won. So it could be, if it's another 8-0 and Stockport theoretically, not theoretically, but Stockport could relegate Sutton without relegating Sutton today. If they won 8-0 again, that's Sutton down.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. They can put the nails in the coffin, just not hammer them in yet.
Yeah, they've just holding.
They've placed them.
I'm holding a nail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they've placed them. They just haven't given them a whack.
Just a little like that.
Yeah, Stockport are the obvious favourite coming into this game. Unbeaten in their last 5, won their last 3. 4 points clear at the top of the table. They've found. We've been saying for a couple of weeks now that the top is tight, and whoever is going to find that momentum and go on a bit of a run of wins will win it in the end. And Stockport have listened to us, and they've done it because they've won their last 3. I'd happily put money. We don't
have a breather.
Condone gambling, but I would put money on Stockport winning. It really took me a minute to think of the word condone. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm getting there. But yeah, I think it seems like an almost inevitable win for Stockport. Even though Sutton are on a good run of form, I do think their good run of form will come to an end because they've beaten the likes recently. Their good run of form, they've did well against Crewe. No, they didn't. They lost against Crewe. Never mind, misread it. So since the start of March, they've lost to Tranmere, drew to Grimsby, lost to Crewe, but then they've gone on a winning streak and beat Forest Green, Accrington, Salford, and Swindon. None of which are top 10. I don't think any of which are top. Well, apart from Crewe, who are up there, but none of
Yeah,
them are teams you'd go, oh wow, that's a good result.
but
Oh, Accrington are not up there. Never mind, they're 18th.
don't you think though that like I personally think it was harder to play against Salford, Swindon, and Accrington than Stockport. Personally,
Why?
I don't know. We didn't even win against Stockport. We drew both times. They look. I don't know. I feel like Stockport are sort of good, but maybe prone to sort of a bit of a catastrophe.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
But I
so
think
whole season's a catastrophe. That's the thing.
Hmm.
Oh, sound like Marge Simpson. Yeah, Sutton are going to lose this, but it'd be really nice if they could win.
It'd open up the title race again if Stockport lose
Yeah,
massively, especially if Mansfield or Wrexham get a result.
it would be nice. It would be nice. What's your score prediction for this?
I'm gonna have to say like 4-0.
4-0.
I'm going for big results today, like big numbers.
I'm gonna say 5-0.
All right,
No, I'm gonna
nice
say
one
another
up me
5.
there.
I'm gonna say another 5-1.
5-1. Okay. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Right, lovely stuff. We will move on to our lovely little ad break. I'm going to grab a cream egg quickly. What an ad break.
A phenomenal advertisement break.
One of my favourites, if not my favourite.
It was yeah. They just and I know we keep saying this, but it's just them.
They just get me.
They just get They just know. They just know how to do it. They know.
They do.
So thank you, advertisement people. Go buy what they told you to buy.
Yeah. Or do what they told you to do.
Yeah, unless it was like
Probably.
I don't know, like punch someone, but they wouldn't say that because we love our ad breaks and they're lovely people.
Mm.
But now, unfortunately, the ads are over, and let's talk about football again.
We've got I didn't realise we've got a fair few games which like top end versus bottom end. And we'll move on because Forest Green welcome MK Dons today.
Do they? That's that seems like it'd actually be a really interesting game.
It would, because Forest Green obviously have a lot to play for, but are also in the situation where they can't really lose. So it's going to be interesting how they set up stylistically, because they're going to want to obviously not lose, but then also they're going to need to push and try and get the win because they can't just plateau and get draws or wait on what everybody else is doing. They need to go out and grab it.
Yeah.
But obviously, if they push forward and commit men, which they're going to need to do because they need to get the win, MK Dons are going to take massive advantage of that. And MK Dons are in the same position where they need to get some wins under the belt. They've only won 2 in their last 5. Because if they get doing it again, if they get a win and results go their way, they could end up in the automatics by the end of the day.
Which would be quite nice. I'd quite like that. I mean, I went to Stadium MK on a Tuesday night this season, and we got walloped. but I quite like the day out, even though there's nothing to do in Milton Keynes. We literally went to the game, got battered, and left.
Good day.
A great day. I don't know. It feels like they've sort of not served their time yet.
What do you mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Everyone in this league feels like they've been through it. You know what I mean? Like they've been through it.
Yeah.
And like
MK Dons haven't.
MK Don's just waltzing back up. It's like that's not how
Yeah.
it works. Wrexham are an anomaly because we don't like them anyway. Nobody likes Wrexham. But MK Dons, I don't know. It feels like. Are you sure you've got out of it this easily? It seems like they have. Or could do soon. So fair enough. Well done, MK Dons. Mike Williamson ball, etc., etc. Very good.
Have we mentioned we like Mike Williamson?
He's all right. Yeah, he's a nice bloke. He's a nice bloke.
He complimented Knots at the weekend.
Oh yeah, I saw that actually.
Sorry, midweek.
He said like, "Oh, you know what it's like when you come here." He said you played like how they're trying to play. Which is nice. She's nice. You know, the table says otherwise, but
yes, it drastically does.
If he wants to hand out charity compliments, be my guest.
I'll take him
any day off Mike. Yeah. So they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna have contrasting styles of play as well, like you sort of alluded to. It feels like a very MK Donsy thing to sort of lose this, don't you think?
It does, but I think because they've just come off the back of a draw, they won't. I think if they'd have beaten us, they'd lose this. That seems like the most MK Dons thing.
Yeah, that's true. They like to bounce back. I mean, if you look at their form, how many times does their form alternate? Loss win, loss win, loss win. It happens all the time. I'm scrolling through their form now. You know, they have the odd win streak, but you know, they're also doing stuff like loss win, draw, loss, draw, stuff like that. So it seems like after every result, they sort of try bounce back. It seems like they're due a win regardless, you know?
And so they haven't won. They didn't win over. No, they did. Never mind.
They won on the Friday against Walsall. 5-0 in response to a 5-0 loss.
Exactly.
All that. So it's I don't really know. I don't know what's going to happen today. I think it'd be pretty cool if Forest Green could get a win, but alas,
I think it'd be cool. It'd open up the race at the bottom of the table.
Only slightly though, because unless Forest Green wins 6-0. 6-0? No, 4-0.
Yeah, 4.
Then I can't see it. I
think it's got. I think MK Dons win this one.
By how many goals do you think?
Call me crazy, call me stupid. I think the team in 4th are going to beat the team at the bottom of the table. It's just, I like to live on the edge, you know.
Yeah, you do. You really do.
I'm going to say 3-1.
I'm going to say 2-1 to Forest Green.
Really?
Yeah, they are due a win, but it just feels like a thing that Forest Green would do, and that MK Dons would do as well.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I see what you mean, and I think I'd join you more if they'd come off the back of a win, which doesn't make sense, but it's MK Dons.
No, I know what you mean. They're sort of very flip-floppy this season.
They're quite flip-floppy.
Yes, they are.
Right, we'll move on because we've got another one which is kind of a top and bottom, which is Colchester welcome Wrexham today. Welcome to Wrexham. So we don't really need to go over this. It's going to be a draw because it's Colchester.
So picture this, right? Have you ever checked your Twitter and it's Wrexham fans being like, "Oh, they ain't good enough. This ain't good enough. Or sack Parky or
yes,
sell this player." That is going to happen today after Colchester win. They're not even drawing; they're winning. I mean, look at their form. They've lost to Barrow, and apart from that, their last 8 games, they've won 1, drawn 6, and lost 1. So the odds, and that was against like Mansfield, Tranmere, Walsall. There's absolutely no way Colchester don't win this, or at least get a point. There's no way they lose this.
Okay, I was going to say that's a very bold statement to say third place are definitely going to lose against.
Third place definitely won't win. I can visualize it now. Twitter kicking off. Colchester fans getting on Twitter going, "Oh, Paul Mullins crap," and stuff like that.
There's
Which
no need for the profanity now, is there?
he might be a bit. What, Paul Mullins? He might be a bit trash.
He might be. He might not. He might not play his best game.
And when you know how they say it, when you get to Colchester, things sort of,
Everything goes up in the air.
Form goes out of the window. You know what I mean?
It does. It's like a cup final every time.
Yeah, it's like, they call Wembley the Anfield of the South. Colchester is the Anfield of the South, or the whatever you want to call it, of the South. The really good atmosphere of the South.
I'm gonna say, I think it's that's what it is. It's the Colchester fans. It's the drumming. It's the massive like tifo like things they've got on the stands.
They do actually have those, to be fair, though.
I know that's right. I didn't know that. It's the firework display pre-match. It's the halftime like Super Bowl style show at halftime. It's
getting Michael Jackson out today.
Is it? I heard he was rumored.
Yeah, well, I can't remember how it's working out because obviously he passed away. But I'm pretty sure he agreed to come out of retirement just to perform. He's always liked Colchester and he's always been a fan of the Cowleys. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can just imagine Michael Jackson enjoying watching a bit of Colchester.
Getting proper stuck in.
Proper chuff that the Cowleys took over. Well, I like them. I like what they did at Lincoln.
I like what they did at Lincoln.
So we're going to leave that there. We'll move swiftly on. What's your score prediction? I'm going 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0. 1-0 to Colchester, I think.
Yeah, no, I've gone the same.
Next match.
I don't know. I think we should linger on that a little bit longer.
Just sit and have a breather.
Next game.
Next game.
Also kind of a top and bottom sort of thing. We've got Barrow versus Swindon. Now, not as top and bottom as obviously Colchester, Wrexham, or Forest Green, MK Dons, or Sutton's Stockport. But Barrow versus Swindon. Barrow obviously in 5th place. They've got 2 games in hand on MK Dons. If they win those and games go in their way, they could actually find themselves in the automatics. They're only 6 points off.
Do you know what? And sorry to interrupt and sorry to be nasty. I don't want Barrow to go up. I'm tired of it now. They were really good at start of season and they've just sunk down. And I'm bored. I don't care about that now. And if they go up, I'm going to be annoyed. I'm going to be really, really annoyed. So don't, Barrow. Do not. I'd genuinely rather. I don't know. We all like to hate on Wrexham, but it is fun to play them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd rather get rid of the current top 4 than Barrow go up. I feel like they're sort of in a slightly false position. They don't seem to be doing things that well at the moment. I mean, Swindon, you know what I mean? They're gonna win. And it's not like I'm gonna be punching my phone screen or whatever when I find out that Barrow have scored today, but I don't know. I don't really know what I'm about. I don't want Barrow to go up. I think they've bottled their chances. That said, Swindon have been struggling. I think they're going to get the Boreham Wood manager, whose name I've forgotten.
Luke Garrard.
Yeah. So that'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think if that's the case, Luke Garrard is a brilliant manager. I think he's absolutely fantastic, and he's the sort of guy I wanted Notts to go for. When Birchnell first left us, I want us to go for Luke Garrard or Mike Williamson. And we went for Luke Williams, and to be fair, it went well.
We got Mike Williamson though. You'd be fucking flipping. You'd be flying up the league right now.
Maybe so, but in another life. But yeah, Swindon aren't doing very well. They've lost 4 of the last 5 games. They've only won 1, and that was against Notts, and everyone beats Notts, so that doesn't really count.
They beat us. That makes you feel better.
Well, it does actually. Thanks, Charlie.
Oh, no worries.
And then they've got Barrow, who obviously aren't on the greatest run of form at the moment. They've only won 2 in their last 5. They've lost 1, drawn a couple. So it's not bad, but it's not, promotion winning form either. I think I'm with you in the fact I don't think they're going to get automatic spots. I think it's a bit too out of their reach at the moment. And even if by some miracle they did, they would come straight back down next season. Barrow are destined for the playoffs. I don't think they'll win the playoffs, but they'll be there. And then I think next season is going to be a bit of a make or break for them, because they'll either build on what they've done, or this will have been a
fluke.
A fluke, a one-off, an anomaly, and they'll just drop back down and be like 14th next season.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an interesting one. That being said, Barrow have a lot of quality, especially amongst their attack. Pete Wild is Pete Wild, and he does Pete Wild things. Swindon Town are Swindon Town and are crap. I've got to go with a Barrow win.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I mean, Barrow really collected. I think collected is the word. They're good at the back. Swindon, I don't believe they're very good at the front. But either way, I expect Barrow to win, and I think they're going to keep a clean sheet. What did you say, 1-0?
No, I didn't. I'm going to say Barrow 2-0.
All right, I'm going to say Barrow just 1-0.
Just one.
Just the one. Just the one for me, please.
Fair enough. I think that's a reasonable prediction. Bow. Right. We'll go back to the order, because I haven't actually been using an order. I've just been scatting about different games which look like they're going to be interesting. We'll go to Wimbledon versus Salford now, because we're going in order. Wimbledon obviously in 10th place, 3 points off the playoffs. Are winning games go their way. Games go their way. They could find themselves in the playoffs by today. I doubt it, because there's still Gillingham and Morecambe between the playoffs and them. Wimbledon are a difficult one. They were having such a good start, and they've kind of plateaued a little bit and just sank back down to mid-table, which is a shame. But I don't know. At the start, it always kind of felt like this run was going to come to an end, a bit like Barrow at the beginning when they were, challenging for top 3, and it was like they're doing really, really well. However, this is going to come to an end at some point, and it did. Salford, however, they've lost the last 2. They went on quite a bit of a. I always forget their manager's name. What is it?
Carl Robinson.
Carl Robinson. That's it. I want to say Carl Pilkington. Whenever he took over, Carl Pilkington, it looked as though Salford were going to kind of kick on a little bit, almost do a Doncaster in that sense. Well, it did to me anyway, when it was like, I think they're going to pick up a good few wins, start getting some bits under the belt. And they did, and then didn't. And now they're in 20th. They're safe from relegation. They're 7 points. 9. Oh, they're 9 points off the relegation zone. I don't think they're in any sort of danger of going down. And they've lost their last 2. It seems like a bit of a nothing game for both, but if I'm honest, I'd have to push for a Wimbledon win. I really took over with that one. Please give me your thoughts.
I agree. Yeah, Salford, they've done enough to sort of get themselves clear. It felt like they could potentially make a late promotion push, similar to what Doncaster are doing now. But they sort of, plateaued a bit. We love using that word. Once they got comfortably clear of relegation, Wimbledon, like you said, just knocking about. You know what I mean? Just trundling along. getting a win here, getting a loss there, getting a draw sometimes, you know. Um, to you know, Wimbledon, like you said, had a good start to the season and then dropped off. These feel like two very similar level teams. To be honest, everyone between 10 and 20th feel like very similar level teams this season.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean.
I can't say much on this. You know, Wimbledon, does a win get them anywhere? Potentially playoffs.
Yeah, it's very much it's a potential thing. It's like
Results have to go perfect for them, really, don't they?
it does, and Wimbledon have only won one in their last 5,
Yeah, that is
which
true.
isn't great. Let's
I
have a look.
mean,
Oh,
Salford have
it
won.
was against Notts.
You're really
Oh
handing.
no, sorry, it wasn't. It was against Gillingham. They did beat us the week before that.
Right. So it wasn't
They've
you.
had a difficult run though. I'm just looking at their fixtures. They lost to Stockport recently. They drew to Harrogate with a red card, drew to Crewe, lost to Newport, beat Gillingham, beat us. So it's
So
not like
potentially it could be better than we're thinking.
I was going to say maybe they are doing better than the form table would suggest.
You know what? I'll give them a win. Go on.
Are you know for a Wimbledon win?
Wimbledon win 2-1. I think it'll be a close game, a very close game, because I think Salford are great.
Yeah.
I really don't think they should be 20th at all, but they are. So sorry, Salford. But no, but
I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
a 2-2 draw.
A 2-2 draw. The ballet score.
The ballet score. I think that's pretty valid. I think that's real of you to say.
Thanks, man.
No worries. Anytime. Yeah.
We're getting to the point where we're going to have to speed through a few of these now. There isn't that many left saying that. I think there's maybe 3 or 4. So we'll go to what probably is the bigger game, which is Mansfield versus Crawley. Obviously, Mansfield in second place. They've lost the top spot. They've come off the back of a loss to Wrexham, which has caused quite a bit of uproar amongst Stags fans. Because of the penalty that was given from outside the box.
From quite a bit outside the box.
Quite considerably outside the box, from the halfway line.
So basically what happened was, if anyone's not seen it, Mansfield took a goal kick and conceded a penalty. Oh wait, no, shit. I meant to do a funny joke like I was on the other side of the pitch, but it was in Mansfield's box. So joke's over, guys. Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Yeah. So anyway, Crawley, guys, they were gonna go. We thought they were gonna go down, didn't we? We did. We all did. And their manager, Scott Lindsay, who I did very quickly check while talking about him because I forgot his name. He's done really well this season. Really, really well. There was sort of a point to be made about them losing Telford in the summer. I thought maybe they'd struggle, but they're fine. Danilo Orsi's doing great. To be honest with you, if these are in playoffs, I think these are my favourites to win them.
Do you think?
Yeah, I really do. I think they play great football, and I think Scott Lindsay gets what he's got to do. I think he just gets it. He's doing a good job. To say that these were going to be what I think most people expected them to finish bottom. Since he's come in, he's changed everything. He's sorted everything out. So I don't know. I just think everything's going well. They are playing Mansfield, what's Mansfield's form looking like? A bit shaky, quite a bit.
Yeah, it's not brilliant, but it's not bad.
I know, but Crawley have won how many of their last? How many? 6 of their last 9, and lost 2, drawn 1.
That's very good form from Crawley.
Superb form.
Creepy Crawley doing their best to maintain the playoffs.
Creepy Crawley are creeping and crawling into the playoffs.
I think you're right in that they're going to be a favourite in the playoffs. I would disagree and say I don't think they're going to win it. I think because you're going to have either Mansfield, Wrexham, or MK Dons in there. Realistically, because I think Stockport are going to get automatics, whatever.
Me, and I don't know if this will make sense, but what I'm trying to say is, if it feels like Wrexham, MK Dons, Barrow, if they're in the playoffs, I've just got a feeling that they won't manage. I don't think Wrexham are ready to go up in that way. I know that
Right.
might
Okay.
not make that much sense, but I feel like if Wrexham are going up, they've got to do it in autos. I feel like they'd really struggle to sort of do handle the pressure in playoffs. That said, they are a good side. It's not like I'm going to be so confused if they do win them, but if I were them, and it's hard to get the message across without sounding stupid, but if I were them, I really wouldn't want to drop down into playoffs, purely because I think anything could happen there. But I also think Barrow, they're going to bring like 4 people to Wembley. I don't know if that makes a difference. Maybe I'm salty because we're not there. I don't know. It just feels like Wrexham, MK Dons, and Barrow, I feel like they struggle in the playoffs. I don't think their play styles sort of suit that. I don't know.
No, I think I kind of understand what you're saying. That I think it'd be difficult for them because they've gone so long pushing for the automatics and being in and around the automatics, especially Wrexham, who have been pretty much in the automatics since the get-go.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a case of they'd have to very quickly get over the defeat of not being in the automatics anymore to then go into some really high intensity, high pressure matches, which is going to be a real struggle. So yeah, I do get what you mean. But I don't know. Their quality just overrules for me. But Crawley are a very good side. They're doing very, very well. I kind of forgot who we're talking about.
Crawley Mansfield.
Crawley Mansfield, that's it.
Massive game that's happening today.
It really is a big game, and it kicks off in an hour and 47 minutes. I'm so sorry this is out as late as it is.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
We are.
Mansfield used to be good, didn't they? But now they're not as good as they used to be, but still are good.
In the old days.
Crawley are going to win 2-0.
Oh, so I'm going to put Crawley winning 2-1.
But still Crawley winning. I think that is
winning.
just what's going to happen, to be honest.
Yeah, however much Stags fans won't like it, I think I just see a Crawley win. And this is the sort of game I think Mansfield will lose. Right, we have 3 games left, none of which really affect much apart from the Accrington Stanley Crewe Alexander game. So we'll go to that one. Accrington, obviously, massive, massive club. Everyone likes the away days of Accrington Stanley. Pretty central of the Football League, focal point almost. Like it's like the golden child in the class that the teacher shows off. They're brought out at every awards evening, the parents' evenings. They get to do a little talk. That's the Accrington Stanley of the EFL. They are just the golden child. That being said, they're 18th.
Oh wow! I mean, I'd love for my club to be Accrington Stanley one day, and 18th as well. Such a treat.
Crewe, however, Crewe's league position is a third of Accrington Stanley's because they're 6th.
That is one of the best stats I've ever heard. That is a brilliant stat.
Thank you. Crewe have kind of dropped off a little bit.
They have. They were very close to 4th. It felt to 3rd.
Yeah.
And MK Dons have sort of sneaked in. That's my sneaking. MK Dons have sort of tiptoed in. Crewe's form's atrocious right now.
Yeah, they haven't won in the last 4. They lost 3-1 to MK Dons. They drew to Wimbledon. They drew to Gillingham, and they lost 3-0 to Forest Green on Monday. Not ideal.
They've won 3 in 10 as well.
Oh, have they? Oh, that
Yeah,
really isn't good.
they lost 2 games before Sutton, so yeah, like you said, Forest Green loss, Gillingham draw, Wimbledon draw, MK Dons loss, Sutton. They beat Sutton, or
Mhm.
all the way around. But and before that, they had 2 losses to Morecambe and Doncaster. But Doncaster are really good, so
Yeah,
uh,
true. Grant McCann is Grant McCann.
that is worrying. I mean, Accrington's form's not much better,
No, no, it's not.
considerably worse. Yeah, they've not won. They've won once in 10. 9. They've won once in
Ooh.
9, which really, really is not pretty. And I think Accrington are fucked, to be honest with you, if you excuse my French, but I think they are this season. Do you think Crew's form will sort of have any impact?
I think it makes a difference, but I don't know. I don't know if it does. I think
I
Crew are going to win.
The thing is, like, right now, my thought process is Crew are really bad. It could be an opportunity for a worse team to surprise them. But okay, Accrington have been that bad recently. Like, and I'm not just talking off form here. I've they're not good. They're really
Just
not.
in general, they are
Yeah,
pretty pants.
and I just think they're going to lose quite considerably. I'm going to say, should we let them score a goal? Well, that's my choice.
I'm not.
I really don't think they will score. I think I'm going to soften the blow. I'm going to say 2-0.
See, I've gone for a 3-0.
Yeah, I think 3-0's more likely, but I felt bad.
Mm.
I'm gonna leave it at 2-0. I think.
Okay, now we no offense to these four teams and their fans, but we're kind of at the games which aren't as big. We've got Grimsby Town versus Newport, which is quite big because Grimsby Town have kind of got to get the win. I think they have lost. Grimsby have won the least in the league this season. They've won 8 games.
That's not very good.
No, not when you've played 40. It really isn't. They haven't. They're not even at a 1 in 4.
Well, no, they're
That's
at
like
one.
essentially that's a game. They're a 1 in 5. Essentially, they win it a game a month.
Which is a treat. If the fans behave, they get a treat.
Exactly. If they don't go mental, as all Grimsby fans do, then they get a little win every now and again. David Artell goes, "Go on,
God.
fine, we'll throw you the bone."
Yeah. Fine, I'll
Um,
win this time. Oh,
no, but Grimsby really need to pick up some wins.
yeah, desperately. And Newport's form's kind of stinky. A bit of a skin mark.
It's on a bit of a brown patch.
Yeah, I thought they'd get playoffs, and it's just not happening, is it?
No, they were in and about it for quite a while, and they had obviously had that really good. At one point, they were like the most informed team in the league.
That being said, the last 5 losses, so they've only won 4 in 10, right?
Yeah.
But their losses came to teams, so I'm going to work backwards. Crawley,
Right.
Colchester, and that was
Right.
at Colchester, I believe. Barrow, Stockport, Mansfield, and MK Dons. So that's who they've lost to in the last 10 games. So they've not really played Grimsby. Colchester, yeah, maybe, but they're a different force right now. So
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe their form's bad, but that's just because they've had a bad run.
Yeah.
I really think that, against a team such as Grimsby, they've got Grimsby then Accrington just to sort of take a peek. They've got us on the last day of the season, which would be fun.
At least they'll have a win.
Yeah, please. I hope they let us win. But no, I think Newport will win
Okay.
3-1.
3-1. I don't think it's going to be that conclusive.
Do you know what?
No, I think it's. I don't. I think it's going to be a really bad game of football.
I hope not. I like both these teams.
I think Newport are going to win 2-1, and I think it's going to be like a bit of a crap game.
It might be.
That's Newport wins.
Both Grimsby's keepers are injured as well, which is a fun fact.
Oh, that's not ideal when you're going into a relegation fight.
Yeah. So yeah.
And
Dave today. So
well, we'll find out in about 2 hours.
Lineups are out in 5 minutes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No, they're not. Shut up.
No,
Last game, Rob Apter versus Walsall.
dare we see it? Oh, it's the Rob Apter versus Mo File sort of situation.
Shit.
This is like, this is like the El Clasico of League Two. It's not. They say it's a fierce rivalry, but it's more a club rivalry than a fan rivalry. These two clubs, and it's just two players. It's just between two players who lifted their teams up, and Walsall are going to win.
Do you think?
Yeah, I do.
I've written my prediction down already. I've gone for an incredibly rogue shout.
You've gone for a Rob Apter hat trick.
No. I think it's going to score 4.
He's scoring 4.
Apter 4, Walsall 1.
3. I think 3-1 to Walsall. Apter 1, Walsall 3. I think Tranmere is sort of starting to drop off again now, and sort of regress since losing to us.
Their fate was sealed.
Yep. Walsall have had a bit of stinky form, but they've also been, getting some good matches in. I think their last game against. They beat Salford, but then they lost to MK Dons 5-0. So it depends which Walsall you get. But I think they'll turn over Tranmere, to be honest, quite easily. It might not be a great score, but I think the result's going to be quite considerably. Whatchamacallit? Walsall.
Yeah, no, I can understand. I think it's just I don't know enough about either of the clubs, if I'm honest, to form a valued opinion. I look at the form table, and neither of them are doing very well. Walsall have come off the back of a win because they just beat Salford, but then before that, like you've just said, they've had pretty atrocious results. Losing to MK Dons, drawing to Colchester, which everyone does. Draw to Barrow isn't bad, but then a loss to Forest Green. I don't know. My 4-1's kind of come off the dome a little bit out of the blue, but I'm going to stick with it.
I mean, if it happens,
then fair play. I win. Simple.
What? There's no prize.
No, there is. Pride.
What is it? Pride.
I can just hang it over you that I won. And that. Oh. Secret. Is that the prize? Is that the prize? Holding up a book of the secret life of cows.
Yeah, I've got that book, and I can't say I've ever even opened it. So God knows what they're up to,
Hey, who knows? Well, you would if you opened the book.
Well, find out when you win the prize, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't have much to say on the Apter versus Walsall. If I'm honest, Rob Apter's a good player.
He's a good player. Like, genuinely, he's a good player.
That's all I've got, really.
That's all I've got.
Well, that kind of rounds us off nicely.
It does. So if you're listening, whatever you listen to this on, share it around. Grandad, listen to this. Mum, listen to this. Oh, Dave Artell, listen to this.
Grant
Everyone,
McCann, listen to
yeah,
this.
Grant McCann, listen to this.
Please listen to this.
Please listen to this, Grant McCann. Rob, you've got to check this out, mate. You know,
Happy, come here.
do that. Yeah, give it a good rating, and just put a nice comment, a nasty comment.
They're all appreciated the same.
They're all appreciated. Win. Hope you win today, unless you're not gonna. Thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, is it goodbye time? I think it's goodbye
I think
time.
it is.
Bye.
Bye.